joined by Michael Breed. And they'll be watching Ricky Fowler. That tee time is at 1:40, delayed by 45 minutes, 1:40 Eastern. Ricky Fowler finds himself 3 shots off the lead right now before he gets play underway. He'll tee off about 10 minutes earlier than the leader, Jimmy Walker.
And you see guys, they'll go to the short game area first and then maybe go to warm up. Guys do it differently.
Ricky Fowler started his round yesterday on 10. He made a bogey. First hole of the championship, he bogeyed. And then he caught fire on that outward 9. With
361 yards today. Plays a little uphill if you can carry the ball. 286. You can get it all the way up into that other fairway. But that's aggressive.
They like it, as does he. Just a lot of body rotation, very quiet hands and club face.
Our afternoon featured group off and running here as they amble up the hill. That second tee right there, just about the lowest spot on the property. It's all uphill from there, Michael. Now, one of those one-overs has dropped a shot.
This is going to be a fun group to watch because what you're seeing, you see different body styles, different swing types. Ernie Els is an open-faced player with a lot of hand activity. Zach is a shut-faced player, not a lot of hand activity. Zach is, I think, one of the best putters in the game. And then Ricky Fowler, who is slight in stature and yet generates tremendous club head speed.
Well, we've had a great morning. Brian Anderson and Bill Cratchit heading over to TNT. Michael Breed with us here in the booth and on the golf course. The newest member of our team this week, all the way from down under, Annabelle Rowley. How are you, Annabelle?
I'm extremely well, thanks, Brian. Hi, Michael. Great to be with you guys. And I can tell you the atmosphere is electric out here with this group. And I'm feeling some very positive vibes already.
Oh, you gotta like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, when Ernie Els starts off with a birdie, he's one of the more popular guys on tour. Ricky Fowler, one of the more popular guys on tour. Zach Johnson, certainly a very popular guy on tour, but very well respected. High character guy. It's a very interesting pairing. Big easy.
Target they have all day to aim at.
Fowler with 148 yards.
Abbreviated follow through there. That might have been a little wedge. Nice control of the spin. That's going to be really the big concern this afternoon.
Exactly that. This putter here, a little bit more conventional for Ricky Fowler. As a matter of fact, this putter was originally made for Tiger Woods.
Ricky has 7 feet. That's working away from him. He's got to stay on the left side.
I just overread it. Probably an edge putt. He took it outside the hole.
It's a little too early.
I think this round here is going to tell us a lot about where he is with his swing. He has been struggling for the
field to it. Tall hardwood trees on both sides as we take a look at Ricky Fowler's PGA Championship career. Close in the darkness at Valhalla just a couple of years ago, 2014.
And he missed that short putt on the last hole when all the commotion was going on. It's like a 5 or 6 footer, but he was right there in the mix all day. This golf course,
Well, his swing has been shown over and over again with its syrupy tempo. Fowler.
this is the club of interest for me. How he does with this driver.
That's beautiful.
Yep, well done. You can see how soft the fairways are there. The balls.
Well, Ricky Fowler, a winner in Charlotte on that Quail Hollow Club golf course. Sure, he's got. All right, Fowler next.
Ricky with 200 yards.
This may be a 7-iron. As downhill as this can play.
This one plays 5 yards downhill. And Fowler put a charge in it.
He liked it too, up until he saw it land. And that may have settled down in that. You could see that ball kind of hit and almost jump up into the air. Those are the ones that tend to kind of bird's nest on them. They dive down into that grass. The grass around.
There's one of those lies around the green that you were talking about. That is the one for Ricky Fowler. Well down, but not all the way down.
No, and that grass, depending on the direction he's trying to hit it, we'll see when this camera pans out. That blade of grass, the grain may be growing into the, yeah. So the grain's going to be growing into him a little bit. He's going to have to open up that club face, almost play it like a bunker shot. And it just up on the green and let it trickle down to the hole. When you can't stop the ball with spin, you've got to use trajectory. And around the greens here at Baltrusol, as thick as that rough is,
Are saying yes. And I would like to pass along my phone number to all 70% of them. It's just early, but you got to love. And you knew that Ricky was going to get an edge in a social media poll. As active as he is, he's always been on the cutting edge. The Snapchatting on the spring break trip was epic from earlier this year. Jordan Spieth was on that trip. Justin Thomas packed, and you know these guys love that firm packed sand.
Isn't it amazing that the guy that hit the shortest tee shot's the only one on the green here too? Zach Johnson from 230.
Why do you think that is? There's not a hard, fast rule about it, huh?
It's just the game is just, it's kind of like that. This is going to be fun to watch.
So you think he's going full-on Flopadopoulos
Well,
here?
look at how open that club face is.
Guys, he's got a nasty lie here. Ball is sitting down and it's into the green.
See how big the backswing was. The follow-through is obviously going to be shorter because you're running into all that thick grass. If the club is going 60 miles an hour as it approaches that grass, the grass is going to slow it down. Now, it's not traveling that fast. It's probably traveling about maybe 30 miles an hour, but it's going to slow down to probably 10. Take a little look here again. Watch how far this club goes back in the backswing. He takes it back to almost perpendicular. It's right there. Now, when he comes back down, watch how this is almost gonna shut down under the waist. Right about at the waist, yeah, slightly there. So you can see he took it back almost to up with them or hit the same iron. Play your game. You know what that's from?
I don't.
Play your game.
Is that the Golf Now commercial, a TaylorMade commercial? No, that was Find Your Game.
Miracle. Remember the movie Miracle?
Oh, of course.
Herb Brooks on the Play Your Game.
We saw this one go by. Should be left edge.
Pulled it outside the hole, and all of a sudden, there's his first bogey.
Yeah, gesturing is
Back.
One less club for Ricky. 7-iron here.
he can nuke this 7-iron.
Just did.
Yeah, this might be his favorite club in the back.
This is right at it. That'll work.
He backed it up. What a shot from Ricky Fowler. This fourth tee, not too far away from the first tee.
Open. The driver was cooperating, but we've seen him hit some errant tee shots with that.
Luckily, that road is closed to through traffic. One of the many road closures around this area. They try to maintain law and order. You need help with your golf game? Want to find a course or sign up for events in your area? Go to PGA.com for all your golf needs. Saw PGA.com's TJ Auclair out there.
Yep.
What a setting as we look down on this fourth green. From high above, 2,000 spectators have seats up in those big old grandstands, and here's a couple hundred more. About 5 or 6 deep there on the left-hand side. These folks, some of these folks over here can't see the tee. They're just gathered around to see the green. And look how many of them there are. Golf Tracks presented by Scott Trade, showing us all of the tee shots today. You see some of the good ones in there close.
You're seeing some bogeys that were up on the green there. That is telling you how difficult these greens are to read.
It's like 7 feet 1 inch closest to the day. Jim Furyk was in there tight. Nobody hitting it all that close right now. Thomas Peters hit it to 7 feet exactly. And he 3-putted it.
If there's any doubt, by the way, blue is definitely the most popular color. You look down at the patrons there. Blue is definitely the color of the day.
Well, Zach Johnson going with that.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, playing the ball down, which of course means you will finish all day playing the ball down. They didn't feel that badly about the ground surfaces, and as you can see, the greens have obviously dried up very quickly. We did stop play because the steady rain this morning finally caused some puddles in some of the low areas. Now Fowler for birdie.
Foot outside left.
I just never took the break. That's twice he's missed left.
I picked the same line, guys, and it just did not move. Mystifying.
Well, particularly watching Ernie Els putt come up there.
How about this? Fowler wants to stand outside the tee markers.
You think he puts it back?
I think he has people to put it back.
Nothing like having people. So his target right here, he's going to be hitting a tee shot that's going to be kind of starting down that right side and then turning it back in just off those bunkers that guard the right hand side.
He's going to put it back
despite having people. And there's a fairway. You can see how much he moved that golf ball.
He did indeed reach down and replace that microphone. Fowler in the fairway at 5. 1 under, 5 shots back. You leave the course better than you found it. Well done, Ricky. We will catch up with Phil Mickelson and follow his plight over at the first. Look down for a second.
A 5-year-old kid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it a little yellow Pokemon hat?
I don't think so. It looked more like a throwback hat.
Okay. There's a little yellow Pokemon hat out there. He's got antennas sticking out.
No, I missed that one.
116 yards for Fowler.
Slightly uphill. Need to be careful about the spin on this one.
Saw that kid. I got 500 points for going right up next to him.
He didn't like it right away. That's well right and a little fat. That's that thing he's been struggling with, getting his arms to come down underneath the shoulder line instead of on top of the shoulder line.
Well, he's not done suffering on this hole. That indifferent wedge shot is going to lead to a very intimidating birdie putt.
You see a player of this talent from 116 yards hit it outside of 20 feet. They have hit a very bad shot. His golf ball appears to be almost 30 feet away or more.
PGA Tour veteran Mark Carnevale refers to guys that wedge their shots between the flagstick and the edges, getting the macho points. They get some macho points here for Ernie Els. Although he probably wasn't aiming long and left here at 5.
What you can see is he fixed his golf ball. It was he was coming in from the left, and he fixed his ball, was right in line with the flag. This is something for you at home to pay attention to, because his golf ball has now released to the left. So when you fix a ball mark that is sort of in line with something, and then when you go get your ball, if it's left of that, that's telling you the break that's going to happen on the green that he's going to have to deal with. So we know this putt should move, Ernie's putt should move to his right.
And Fowler's is going to be moving to his left. And talked earlier about that putter of his. Very traditional look. There it is. So Tiger putted with a putter just like that for all of his years. Won 13 of his 14 major championships with that, and the manufacturer would make a few backups every year. And Tiger never used the backup. He stayed with the same one. So Fowler was over there at the Scotty Cameron facility, found this old box of putter heads underneath the stairs that had all been saved for Tiger, asked about it. And they said, well, Tiger's not using any of these backups. I guess you can have one. And they pulled that head out and finished it up and made it to his specs. And that's what Fowler's putting with.
Decent length putt here for Fowler. Swinging right to left. Just got to be careful with distance control, because beyond the hole drops downhill.
Watch how much he's expecting this to break. Speed is excellent.
It looks like if you go about 2 feet left of that hole, it's going all the way down to the 6th tee. It looks like the world just ends over there. must have just pushed that because he certainly knew that it went right.
Yeah.
Got away with it, but it would have been a good birdie opportunity here at 5.
Leaving the microphone alone on this hole.
Looking at making sure nobody hits a shot. The 6th tee very close to the 5th green. He may be checking to make sure nobody's about to stiff a wedge shot at 5. Yeah, and then cause a ruckus. You see how thick the crowds are out here. There's so many folks out here, such great golf fans. If somebody hits a good wedge shot at 5, they're going to cheer for it, and that could happen very close to Ricky Fowler. Look at all the fans down the right-hand side.
Yeah. BK, you had a chance, obviously, to do a lot of on-course reporting during Tiger's career. Have you ever seen anything like that? I mean, Ricky is one of the more popular.
145 from the center of the fairway.
All right.
Another good look coming up for Ricky Fowler. He's had a couple. A little past hole high, Rick. You'll get there. And his caddy, Joe Scavron, take things nice and easy out there. He has not made a birdie yet today, but sitting at 1 under par. Losing ground on the lead, though. Never won the PGA Championship, though. At least yet.
Not yet.
All right, Fowler has got himself another good look here, Annabelle.
Yeah, these greens have been fooling all the players, but this has got to go left or right. The slope of that bunker on the left has to come into play.
And it did. He didn't expect it to. Annabelle right on that one.
Got to stay patient out here. Ricky pretty even keeled. It's not the line. It's very deceptive. Oh, this is the great look. We're going to watch this ball. We're going to twirl around. We're going to see it in the air.
Asking it for it to move a bit left, and it didn't. Cleared the bunkers, but it's in the rough. To look at what is the hardest hole on the golf course.
Fowler next.
38 far. Yeah, I like wedge.
Ricky's lie isn't too bad as far as lies in the rough go. 150 yards.
Oh, did he get lucky? Now it looks perfect. Came out low and left. Release a little more.
So Els with a putt for par. Try to stay inside the cut line. Former #1 player in the world. And he was on that spring break trip with Ricky Fowler. Players a little isolated over here on the 7th green. One of the far corners of the property.
I think those two players may very. Is Zach close to the Ryder Cup in the points?
I believe he is. I believe he's one of the 12.
Right now. Is he 10? We're going to effort that for you. But I think those two gentlemen will be on. But you can see it starts to get pretty close there, right at JB at 4,100.
You saw Ricky Fowler's name 10th in Ryder Cup points.
That slide.
And with the Ryder Cup committee and the task force that preceded it, talk about getting these guys and getting them familiar with the golf course. We're seeing greens here that are tough to read. They're easier to read at Hazeltine National, but scouting trip, not a half bad idea.
Nope. Your opinion, the move to cross-handed for Ricky.
I mean,
Has it been a successful one?
Anything that gives a guy confidence,
I agree,
makes it successful. And putting is so personal. You're the former National Teacher of the Year. You can discuss the
iron for Ricky.
Lost it out to the right.
That's an unforced error. Yes, they do.
What are they got like 15 of them. They got a lot of rooms.
Yes. We used one of them as a rain room. He doesn't look like that lie is all that bad, Annabelle.
Guys, it's not bad at all, actually. It's not sitting too deep in that rough. Slightly downhill. And I will tell you, another 6 feet to my left and it would have clocked me on the head.
Well, that's no good. We're glad it missed.
Expected flowers.
Oh, and he was able to put a little stop on that. Now, this guy played with Ken Anderson. His last name was Curtis. He used to, when he got in the end zone, he used to throw the ball over the back of his head, over his back. Ocho Cinco did wear 85, though, didn't he?
Well, it's kind of what Ocho Cinco sort of means.
Really?
Not exactly what it means.
Stop it.
But it's sort of it. Those are the numbers.
I tell you, that's what happens when it gets late in the day. Would you have changed your name to a number?
For the right amount of marketing money, sure.
Interesting. What number would you have gone to?
I don't know. I mean, golf, 18's a pretty good number. I could be Brian Uno Ocho.
Uno Ocho. All right, Uno Ocho, read it.
Jonathan, loving the streaming coverage here. We appreciate that, Jonathan.
Uno Ocho.
How about Isaac Curtis?
Isaac Curtis. That's exactly who it is. How'd you find that?
The computer that's sitting in front of you.
You actually
Yeah,
got
I used
onto
one
that?
that looks just like that.
Yeah, those things, I'm not so good with the computers. Isaac Curtis.
Yeah.
He was the original Ocho Cinco.
Went to San Diego State.
Not a dissimilar putt here.
Oh, and look how fast Fowler's playing this. Now a 3-time PGA Tour winner. He won twice last year. The big one coming at the Players Championship. He also won the Deutsche Bank Championship up in Boston.
You know, it's interesting. After last year, and
Get it.
314 out there. Now Justin's going to try and unleash one. Will be in the fairway.
All right, Smiley Kaufman playing the piano. Jordan Spieth doing some commentary on the long drive contest. And yeah, we had dinner with Annabelle and Amanda Balionis. And that picture that Amanda took,
yes,
that was a Snapchat.
I thought it was just a chat. I thought we were just eating dinner and chatting.
That was Instagram.
That was Instagram. I love the fact. Yeah.
Snapchatting.
6-iron for Fowler.
Interesting. I was thinking he might hit 7-iron here. 7-iron on the 4th hole. Oh, and he doesn't like this at all. On the green, but not near the flag.
Now making his home here in the States. Of course, from the pride of South Africa. From Nick on Twitter, love the Bengals. Love on the live stream. Who day?
Football season coming up. I'm excited for my Giants, by the way.
Yeah?
I'm a Giants fan.
Who day?
They good. They're going to be really good. They've got some wide receivers, although I heard last night that Victor Cruz might not be back to 100%. And that's big. Snapchat's like a video. Isn't it a video? Is Snapchat a video? It's just a picture.
It can be either.
It can be both.
Yeah, it's got a storyline, so you can show the world what you're doing in your day, or you can send a picture or a video directly to somebody. But yeah, and you can write stuff over the images or the video to explain the situation. You can get a little creative with it, whereas Instagram is strictly photographs with filters, and then recently they introduced 60-second videos too, so it's a bit of fun.
Okay.
It's got a storyline to it.
I think the biggest problem for me is just time. You know, to do that stuff, it's just kind of like, I don't have that kind of time.
Ricky's got that kind of time.
He's good at it.
This guy Instagrammed and Snapchatted.
Well, he's doing cool stuff all the time.
Hey, wait.
What does that mean?
BK is doing really cool stuff all the time as well. Maybe he doesn't want to tell people.
I'm sure he is, but I don't know. You're dealing with the king here. The king and his
Got
Snapchat.
it on his hat.
Yeah.
It's on his hat.
All right, Annabelle knows what we're dealing with.
He's got boat trips and Bahamas holidays, boys trips.
Yeah. What's Zach looking at here?
Zach is looking at a right to left. There's a little ridge about 7 feet in front of.
Unable to predict the spin on the golf ball, how that ball is going to grab when it hits the ground in the short game. Short game to me is being able to control the trajectory of the shot. You've got to be able to control the distance that the ball flies in the air and the distance that the ball travels on the ground, obviously. And so much of what happens with that with the distance in the air and on the ground is what happens with the spin and obviously the trajectory.
All right, Fowler next.
Right to left, up and over that ridge.
He's going to have a little work left as well.
You think he was affected by Zach's racing on by?
It appears as it is right now.
Still a bit of a daredevil, Ricky Fowler. He loves his fast cars. Was a motorcycle racer. At one point, BMX, by the way, the ones that jump. That's what we wanted to know.
Yep.
So now Fowler with a lot of work left for par.
Okay.
He will make the turn. 1 under. And 1 over for the day. A change atop the leaderboard as Jimmy Walker gets.
This looks like a 3-wood.
Taking a glance back there at the 9th. Jimmy Walker is in the group right behind these guys. Flies it out there right up behind Zach's driver.
Pull this turn is upper body is coiling, lower body resisting, frees it up there. See that knee flex that he's got in his trail knee. Lots of conversation as to whether you should maintain that or not. I'm a fan of maintaining that. He does. Now he really leans into that. And this is the thing that I love about Ricky and what he was struggling with. For the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to say 3 to 5, that shoulder line has been much more up into the air. That's where he's been trapped and underneath it. Now he's on top of it. And you can see as he's coming through here, look at how that the forward motion of the lower body, and he's finishing right on that left side. It looks much, much better, and he's got much better control of the start line of the shot, which is so important for you. You've got to be able to start the ball on the line you intend, and now he's in the fairway. Annabelle?
Ricky's got 170 yards, and the ball has a little bit of mud on it. The fairways are very soggy underfoot. Well, this one is, rather.
It's sometimes difficult to control the ball when you get a little mud on it. Annabelle Rowley down there in the fairway, and he lost that shot to the right. Bit unfortunate. Not surprised.
Something down in there. This whole location on the back right. He may not be as comfortable working something in there to the right-hand side from distance. Might have wanted something shorter in there. I personally swing the driver a lot because it's the biggest club in the bag. Thing's gigantic.
Listen, you are not afraid of turn 3.
No, let's go.
Yeah, you're rubbing is racing. You don't mind that.
Well, Fowler went all the way down in that bunker without any golf clubs at first, and now he's bringing 2.
I was going to say, that makes that shot a little bit more challenging. I always worry when somebody goes down into the bunker without a golf club. I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
Right?
See what happens here.
You never know.
Probably won't get penalized.
Unless you pick it up and throw it. That whole location at the 10th hole, 5 paces from the edge of the green, so he's got enough room.
I just think it works better through the center.
I would imagine that he would have gone with a 60-degree wedge here just because he's a little bit of ways away from that edge. Yep. Go. Whatever club he chose, it was the right one.
So Fowler will have a tap in now to save par, stay at 1 under. And that is all of a sudden 7 shots off the lead because of the hard charge from Grillo. Hasn't gotten anything going today, but he's still right in this.
You and I had earlier about Damon Green and how he's able to calm Zach down a little bit.
Yeah. There's good evidence of it.
Interesting tee shot here. You can see the players will have to deal with their shadow. So many people that play the game struggle with this shot, the shot where their shadow is kind of over the ball or in their backswing. You can see the shadow that Ricky is dealing with right there.
How daring do you want to be? How far left do you want to play this? Sergio took it right over the trees.
We miss you, Tiger!
He seems to be swinging. The golf club is moving faster. He's got some confidence. That's what happens when you start getting the club in the right position. You gain some confidence. It just goes faster.
Good shot there. So after the big drive, Fowler with just 97 yards left. He could certainly get it close. Very birdieable holes coming up on this great day of scoring. Patrick Reed with a 5 under par round. He and Ricky Fowler may be Ryder Cup teammates coming up again this fall. Emiliano Grillo with 4 under par so far today, and he's not finished yet. Henrik Stenson shot 3 under today. Jordan Spieth shot 3 under today. Coming up on the 12th, something that Michael and I look forward to every year. With our PGA.com coverage, our friends and teammates and colleagues over at TNT who have been doing the television coverage for over 20 years of this event in partnership with CBS. We're going to get a look in. They're going to come look in on this project. All right, Annabelle, what are these guys looking at?
Got Fowler with left lip putt, slightly uphill. He can be reasonably assertive with this.
Great look here for Ricky Fowler. 48th in strokes gained putting this season.
Jumped right away. Doesn't come back. No. Right off the bat.
Yeah, tricky read as that one kind of goes toward the mountain there. Another brings us to Ricky Fowler. Fowler and Els earlier this year combined for some fireworks on a par 3. It was Ricky Fowler back in March at Ernie's charity event, the Els for Autism event. Fowler borrows somebody's wedge, holds a shot on a par 3 for $1 million and donated it to the charity.
Ricky has been swinging much better this week. Although on this hole, not happy with that one.
It's a big target at the 12th. That one wide of what he was looking for. Ricky Fowler struggling today, one over. And we're getting to the point now where the sand is drying out this afternoon. Remember, these bunkers have been worked on a lot. Field staff having to put in a lot of work after the overnight rain. We had a stoppage earlier today after starting play. Golf course got flooded. Was rendered unplayable for just under an hour.
Ricky's got a left to right swinger here, slightly downhill.
Settle. He's had it all around the hole, it's just not finding the bottom of it.
Ernie still looks unflattened. And another par for Ricky Fowler. That is 11 pars today, one bogey. Perhaps he'll find some magic at the 13th.
To that line that he has. Ricky now, be interesting to see what he chooses to do with his club selection. He's going with the driver. He will challenge the right side of this hole. As we've said, the angle of this fairway is sort of at a 45-degree angle to the tee.
280 to the first bunker on the left-hand side, 3 something to the next one. That's a good target line. And that may have been right of all 3 of those target bunkers. Really good tee shot for Ricky Fowler.
And to see the members that I know so well that have been so supportive of the New Jersey PGA's charitable efforts supporting the event this week as our host of Baltrusol really is something special.
And Doug Steffen has been somebody that's been in the game and a powerful influence in the New Jersey section for a long time.
I mean, Doug's the model PGA professional. I know the section will be there'll be a loss with him not working every day. He's a mentor and a friend to me, and I've learned a lot from Doug, and we'll miss him for sure.
34 PGA professionals have gone on to be head golf professionals that have worked for Doug in his career as a PGA professional. As we watch Ricky Fowler put a little backspin on that.
It came within inches of hitting both of the other golf balls.
You don't see that every day.
He's trying to collect them all. 3 good birdie looks coming up at 13. I saw Zach Johnson right there in the middle. 3 children. Wonder if he's going to get his kids involved in the junior league. I got my kids in the PGA Junior League.
It's been amazing to see the activation this week with the juniors and from the Junior League program walking around their jerseys. We had a chance to celebrate some of our program champions and put them inside the ropes on the first tee during the long drive contest on Tuesday. And to see the enthusiasm they had when our ambassadors, Ricky Fowler and Rory McIlroy, went over, spent some time with the teams. And it really highlights the program. And to see some of the kids grab their father's arms and say, hey, how do I get one of those shirts? How come I'm not on that team? I think the chance to celebrate and really publicize the great work that program's doing, not only for the kids who are enjoying the game, but really for the facilities and the enthusiasm it brings, just like a Little League baseball game and a youth soccer match. It's fun to see when the matches, the enthusiasm at the golf course.
There's a real concentrated effort on behalf of the PGA, and I know that you are instrumental in this, in growing the game and bringing the game to all sorts of places where it has not been before. What do you see the future of this being? What's the effect of Junior League and PGA Hope and all the diversification that's
Absolutely.
happening.
I mean, the game's always fought the battle that it's all about the elite and the wealth. And really, that is more accessible than people realize. And through using PGA Junior League as an example, the 36,000 participants we had this year, we were able to...
Still not done with it. He's taking another look.
Got a little fast on him, too. You would think that as a result, Ricky's putt, he's probably thinking this is going to move a little from right to left.
Still looking for his first birdie of the day.
Oh, he hit it nicely, just a little too much pace. Scott, I had a chance at the PGA Professional Championship to see some of the area PGA professionals working with PGA Hope. What was going on up there?
Well, when we started PGA Hope chapter, the first phase of the program is identifying a VA partner.
Johnson, he joins Ricky Fowler now at 1 under par for the championship. Just can't quite get anything going here, as you see, for Fowler. That run of a leg left.
BK, I got to tell you, as a PGA professional, to see the things that the PGA of America, what Scott Kimmick is doing, and other PGA professionals to bring the game to people that might not otherwise have a chance to enjoy it the way you and I enjoy the game. It's really neat, and just speaks to passion, the desire, the effort that so many of the PGA professionals have.
Oh, a rip for Fowler with a fairway wood. See what Els is dealing with. Here was Fowler's shot a moment ago.
That also came out quite easily. Boy, surprising that it landed so softly.
So the focus shifts now to Ricky Fowler. I wonder if that little step cut of rough isn't going to affect how he can get the putter on this.
Guys, it's not exactly behind the ball. I don't think it's going to bother him at all.
Yeah, had a little bit of an awkward angle there, Annabelle.
Yeah, this putt is going to start out left and then come back to the right. So a little double breaker on his hands.
A real good look there. Yeah, plenty of room. You have to love the routine of Ricky Fowler, as he will have that for his 11th consecutive par. Once he gets into that ball, there's no more waiting. Just a couple of years ago, we found out that the scoring system used on tour can actually time the players. There's big Ricky Fowler, and right behind him, little Ricky Fowler. That kid never took his eyes off of Ricky.
Go, Ernie. All right, here we go, man.
There he is. He is locked on his man.
Go, Ernie.
Fowler's got 139 yards. The ball's sitting down, but he's got plenty of room to release this ball to the back pin.
Oh, that came out soft, Annabelle.
That grass is very thick. sticky. Just got club face got stuck in there and lost club head speed. This is a delicate chip shot for Fowler. He's got to land this on the top tier. It's uphill though.
Oh, how soft was that, Annabelle?
It was beautifully executed.
Pretty sporty short game for Ricky Fowler. That left for another par. It'll be his 12th in a row. And that's what major championship golf is. It's a bit of a grind. And that task made a little bit tougher. So a par for Zach. Fowler again. Another one. That's 12 in a row. How patient can you stay? We heard the roar after Fowler had missed this green.
Digits last year on at the end of Friday, 8 under was leading, and I believe 4 under won. I'm sorry, the last time I was here, 2005.
Right. Last year was the first time in major championship history that someone had finished at 20 under par. It has been duplicated 2 weeks ago. Jason Day did it at Whistling Straits, and Henrik Stenson just did it at Royal Troon.
Oh,
Jonathan telling stories. Back on the tee at the par 3 16.
What do I say then?
There's Ricky Roberts in the foreground.
Fowler with 5-iron.
That looked like a pretty good swing as well. He doesn't like it. He overcut it, likely in that bunker.
Well, there are 5 bunkers that surround this green. You can take your pick.
I mean, Travis, it just goes on and on and on. Great golf courses, great time. It was a great time. The game was growing.
Tillinghast was way ahead of his time.
We just saw this. Hope Ricky was paying attention. Yep.
He didn't have a photographer standing right there, trusting him not to plunk him with a golf ball.
I don't know. Maybe the 3,000 or 4,000 people gathered around the green there might be a little bit more challenging than worrying about Mark.
No.
His camera. I mean,
You actually hit Mark with sand. That's how close he was. So Els will have to birdie the last 2 to make this cut. Fowler to keep the string of pars alive. I'm sure he's not looking to show this much patience, but no alternative run. On the second shot, very few par 5s. Tom Lehman talked about when he was getting into golf course design. How do you design a par 5 that puts a demand on a second shot? Well, this is one way to do it. Make it really long. And they have some cross bunkers that are just in the perfect spot.
if Ricky gets this one, and it finds the fairway, he may have a chance. That'll pretty much take care of that. We saw Golf ball is well ahead now. Ricky with an iron.
His lie isn't fabulous, but he's laying up with iron, so no issue.
And he's going to take a club that can't get into those bunkers in front of the green. So as the ball releases and rolls, just avoid some divots. That'll be fine. Maybe not as far to the right as he would have hoped. But 3 layups in fine shape. On the
I was just off. I mean, it's obviously not anymore.
124 for Fowler.
I don't mind a little off, actually. I'm fine with that.
So much for short and right. Maybe he didn't take as much off as he was looking for, but it's a great shot for Ricky Fowler. Close. And then the easiest hole on the golf course for Ernie Els. Zach Johnson, after sticking another one close, looking for his 5th birdie of the day. And Golf Tracks, presented by Scott Trade, showing us this finishing stretch here at 17 and 18. Today, this hole playing tougher than yesterday. It was the 2nd easiest hole on the golf course, averaging right at even par for the day, 5 strokes. But then here's the finish. This is the easiest, almost a half shot under par. You have to take advantage of this stroke. This
iron, 4, 5, 6 iron coming into that hole location. Today the wind was in the opposite direction and they were hitting 3-woods up there. Henrik Stenson made an eagle on his round this morning with a 3-wood to about 3 feet. This putt that Ernie's going to have is going to move a little bit from his left to right, will be a little fast. As close as it is, it's not the best putt on this green. I think Ricky Fowler's got the best opportunity as he is below the hole. And we'll be able to give this a little bit of speed to it as you start being able to make the or hit the putt a little bit firmer. You take breakout, and then as you putt uphill, that hole is now sort of facing you. The back edge of the hole is above the leading edge. It almost catches the ball, whereas when you're coming down off of that, the back edge of the hole is below the leading edge and it's almost running away from you. It basically shrinks the hole.
Well, that doesn't seem fair. I like it better this way.
Then you should have hit it there. All right, here we go.
Pretty straight putt, guys. I see this as inside left lip.
There it is.
He was worth the wait. Fowler's 1st birdie of the day.
The thing that most people can learn from this is it's not always the proximity to the hole, it's the position of the ball relative to the hole and how that can straighten a putt out, and it can make a hole bigger or smaller depending on pair. It's there for a reason. Hit it over it.
381.
That's a par 4.
So let me go ahead and answer that question. The answer is no. Ricky cannot outdo that. But they are up a tee box today.
What would you define outdoing that?
Of 382.
That would be in the water.
Look, you got to want it if you're going to win it.
That's true. That's true. There's no denying that. You got to want it if you're going to win it.
All right, back behind this group, our leader, Jimmy Walker, has hit it way left into one of the tents down the left-hand side. So a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, I mean, it just came out. I don't know where you can find it.
He's got.
And that is Keegan Bradley. I would have thought, 2 years ago, Keegan Bradley would absolutely be on that list.
Struggles with the putter.
Yeah.
We're ready to go at 18. Golf Tracks helping us out.
Water down the left-hand side. Got to be careful. That'll work.
Yeah. Remember, we're up a tee, and he's able to come out and go right over that little belly of the new pond. That was a creek. Bubba's drive was 381 yesterday. Fowler hit at 344.
Fowler with 182.
Chance for a closing eagle for Fowler. Well done, Ricky. Staying patient. The bogey at the third. All those pars in a row. Finally snapping the string with a birdie at 17. But half the field is going to finish here on the easiest hole on the course.
Ricky won't be giving away the hole here. Stay inside the right side of that cup.
For eagle. What a way to finish. 3-4-3. And he was worth waiting for. Tied for 8th.
Well, he made it happen, didn't he? That's how you want to finish.